Hey there, legendary souls. Welcome to Unconventional Counseling. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading connecting to what this blue Pisces full moon is asking you, encouraging you, supporting you in releasing. For pile number 1, we have instinct. For pile number 2, we have courage. For pile number 3, we have inspire. For pile number 4, we have peace. And for pile number 5, we have hunt. Take a moment, pause the video if needed, and choose the pile or the piles that resonate most for you. And I'll see you soon. Hey there, pile number 1. So you chose instinct. This instinct card is a wolf. It says that this card represents instinct and trusting your own animal self. It's a reminder that humans are grounded in the natural world and we get to respect our senses and our gut reactions. The wolf is an integral creature in many indigenous cultures. And the observation of the wolf as a wanderer makes them synonymous with pathfinding and trailblazing. So this blue Pisces full moon might be supporting you in finding your own trail, blazing your own path, or blazing your own trail and finding your own path. You know, it is Mercury retrograde and my words jumble during this time. Something that always feels funny, so I welcome it. Let's see what the tarot has to say to support this. We have the Page of Wands, Justice, so definitely a new beginning, and a new beginning that may have to do with relationships or your relationship to life. With that Justice card, has me thinking of Libra, the sign and the energy of Libra, and the Two of Swords. It's really important that you trust your intuition, just as this card was saying about being rooted in the earth and trusting in and listening to what you feel in your gut. So is there something that you're feeling in your gut about a relationship? Is there something that your intuition is telling you about a new way to view your life? Here's the Queen of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. So this reminds me of a reading that I did just last week about justice. It was an ancestor message on justice. That might resonate with you, pile number 1. Within that reading, the Queen of Pentacles came up, and that was a message to you. It was an energy that you're embodying, that you're invited to embody. So with this full moon energy, with this Piscean energy, there is an invitation to practice gratitude for a path that you may not even be sure yet all the way what it is. And know that your path has a circular element to it. Your path is not linear. It's not just straightforward. It's not point A to point B. It has runes on it. It has symbols on it. There's so much for you to discover and uncover on this path. It may be a path of your spiritual exploration. The Five of Swords and the King of Swords. So there may be some disappointment in how something has shifted out of your life, or how a relationship has changed. It feels very connected to a relationship. That's what I'm mainly picking up on. But it can be your relationship to your finances. It can be your relationship to yourself. It can be your relationship to your emotions, to your thoughts. If it doesn't feel like it's about another person, your connection to another person, yeah, like it's time for you to trust what you feel and to recognize that the true justice that's coming, it may be at your hand. There may be something that you have in your hand to create your justice. And when I say justice, I'm not talking about vindication. I'm not talking about what you might do to screw someone else over in response to what they've done to you or what they failed to do for you. I'm talking about you stepping on your throne. This is mirroring. These two cards are mirroring one another. You stepping on your throne, you adjusting your posture, you sitting up straight, you aligning your spine, you keeping your feet grounded, or you crossing them and sitting in a different type of position of power. But you sitting in a position of power where there is a recognition for how far you have come, for how much you have worked through, for how much you have healed, for how much more you trust your intuition now than ever before. You can tell, I'm sure, when you're having a thought, whether it's a repeating thought or it's most likely a repeating thought that doesn't align with your instinct and your intuition, because you feel off, you feel weird, you feel different, you feel clunky, you feel heavy, you feel sad, you feel upset all of a sudden, usually too. Pay attention to that. How else do we come to the Ten of Cups but paying attention to our feelings? So this Pisces full moon is inviting you to listen to your instincts. Listen to your heart, listen to your emotions, listen to your gut sensations. You can trust your instincts, even if other people around you are attempting to minimize what you're feeling or dismiss what you're feeling, even if there's a part of you, inside of you, that's trying to minimize or diminish your feelings. It's time to connect and to listen and to trust at another level. You know, the wolf typically, yes, they're in packs, but they also typically go out on their own. They're very solo creatures. They value their solo time. If you're feeling overwhelmed and inundated by all that other people are saying, or even all that what's happening inside of you that's making you feel off, go outside, go to nature, be with yourself in nature. Be with nature and be with yourself and be with your emotions and regain the clarity that lives inside of your soul so that you can grow in that self-trust and those instincts that you have. All right, we're gonna pause this reading here. If you are drawn to another pile, I'll see you very soon. And if not, I'll catch you in the future. Be sure to check out that Justice Ancestor message. It might really resonate for you. See you soon. Bye. Hey there, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You've pulled Courage. The Lion card represents bravery. The lion has long been held as a symbol of courage and valor in ancient Mesopotamia, in Iran, in Greek mythology, in Arthurian legend, in Christian mythology, and in The Wizard of Oz. The lion is often a symbol of courage and heroism. This card in your reading is encouraging you to take the high road. So if you feel any sort of connection to, or you feel inspired at all by Michelle Obama, maybe this is a time to pick up one of her books. Because I just think of her when I think of the high road, right? She would say, when they go low, we go high. So let's see what the tarot has to say. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Sun. We have the Magician. We have the Lovers. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So if you're asking what happens if you take the high road, what happens if you acknowledge what it is that somebody else has done, a way that a certain cycle, karmic cycle has played out in your life, and how does it make you feel too good? Do you acknowledge that there are places and people and things for you to move on from because they were not satisfying or nourishing you anymore? And you're honest about that? You're honest about how much it hurts your heart and that there's pain that exists within, that there's grief. You acknowledge that there have been tower moments of late, maybe for the past year in your life, ways that disappointment and abandonment have really, really made their mark. What happens when you choose the high road? You have a lot to look forward to. You have the capacity to alter your trajectory. You have the ability to make choices for yourself and for your future. You get the playfulness of a child to bask in the sun, and you're on the road to new beginnings. So courage doesn't mean that you're not afraid of the outcome. You're not afraid of taking the next step. Courage means you stand up to fear and you face fear. And you call it what it is. You call it fear. You feel it in your body and you call it by its name. You say, okay, fear, I see you. I hear you. I feel you. And you take a deep breath and you ask yourself, what do you want to choose next? So this Pisces blue full moon is encouraging you to step into your courage. Take the high road. Whatever that situation was, it was janky. Yes, it was. It was intense. It was horrific. It was a tragedy. It was painful. All of it. All of that is true. It hurt you. It created a lot of hurt in your life, in your mental space, in your emotional space, maybe even in your finances or your material world. It, like, on every level, it created harm. Now, what does the road of your highest good look like? Does it look like travel? Does it look like adventure? Does it look like joy? Does it look like creating? Does it look like love? we're gonna pause this reading here. I wish you so much beauty on this road of courage that you're on, pile number 2. And if you were drawn to another pile, I will see you very soon. And if not, I'll catch you in the future. Take good care. Bye. Hey there, pile number 3. You've chosen Inspire. And this is a Wren. The Wren card represents inspiration, dreams, and nature's influence. The wren is a sacred bird to the Celts and the Druids. And the wren is a songbird beginning its mating call in early spring and is seen to symbolize the end of winter. This card encourages you to listen to the natural world, to be receptive to the truths of others, and to take inspiration from their teachings. It may also be urging you to listen to some music and to take heed to what it's trying to tell you. If there's anything creative that you've been trying to overcome writer's block or self-doubt around, this card, this energy, this animal spirit is supporting you in finding new inspiration. We have the Magician. We have the Sun. Funny thing is, pile number 2 pulled both of these cards as well. So you may be drawn to the courage pile as well. We have the Hanged One, the 5 of Wands, and the 6 of Swords. You know, sometimes it's important to recognize how conflict can serve us. I'm just really noticing this 5 of Wands here. So the Magician, right? You have the capacity, the capability, the power to alter whatever it is that's showing up in your life right now, to alchemize it, to shift it, to change it. To change it into something beautiful and something joyous, something worth celebrating. That's what this inspiration is doing for you, this energy of inspiration. And it may feel like you're being asked to wait or to be patient for this inspiration to come. It feels like a bird, it comes in when it wants to and it departs when it's ready to. You may be feeling a sense of angst, anger, frustration around how capricious, how fleeting the inspiration may feel. But know too that that feeling of frustration, that feeling of confusion even, chaos, is a part of your creation process. The 2 of Pentacles, we have the World. Wow. We have the Knight of Cups. So this full blue Pisces moon, it's Mercury retrograde, so my words are jumbled. But this energy that we're in, it's encouraging you to find a balance and to notice where you have balance between the practical and the spiritual within your life. To acknowledge where you have completed cycles. Notice this World card. They have 2 wands. The Magician has 1 wand. They have 2 wands. There is a capacity that you have. There is a vibration that you are capable of tapping into where you get to co-create with the universe anything you want. It starts with a receptivity, right? Inspiration comes when we're open. It comes when we're shifting our perspective. It comes when we're playing. It comes when we feel like we have a good balance between things and we're prioritizing aspects of our life, not just work, but also creation. You might not feel like you have the inspiration to create what you feel called to, but you might have the energy to color or to draw or to cook or to put together an outfit with a few things that you've never put together before. Like do your makeup in a certain way, to do your nails, to do your hair. There are windows, avenues into creation that can get you into this receptive mode so that you can find the inspiration. And the conflict that you're feeling, the frustration that you're feeling, the blockage that you're feeling, it's part of it. Because if you didn't feel this way, you might not feel an urge to do something about the inspiration that you're trying to get to. You might not feel like, you might not start saying certain things over your life. You might not start setting certain boundaries. You know, when people cross some boundaries, you feel real frustrated with somebody, it's a good time. It's a good time to reiterate those boundaries or to practice them yourself. This theme of abandonment continues to arise. This came up in another pile. This theme of disappointment and abandonment, they continue to come up. There may be something that you become inspired to create from a breakup, from a deep disappointment, from your needs not being met, from your boundaries being crossed, from a season in your life when you felt like winter was never ending. But remember, the wren is a symbol that winter is coming to an end. So see this as not linear, but as circular. There's something that happens in wintertime when it is so cold and you feel so alone that gives rise to the wren, that is a catalyst for the wren to sing their song. So connect to music based on how you feel. There's only one emotion card here in terms of cups. Check in with how you feel and connect to music that resonates with that emotion. If you're angry, connect to something that's gonna really help you express it, feel it. Whether it's some old school R&B of a woman scorned, whether it's some screamo, there's so many different types of things that you could action, you can listen to. Let that be your practical magic at the time of this full moon. And see what you hear from it. See what it inspires for you, from within you. All right, we're gonna pause your reading here. If you were drawn to another reading in this pile, I'll see you very soon. And if not, I'll catch you in the future. Take really good care. Bye. Hey there, pile number 4. So you were drawn to peace, this turtle energy. This card represents the peacemaker, the diplomat, and the ally. This card encourages peace and friendship with others. The sea turtle is a natural gardener, grazing on seagrass, which houses aquatic life, feeds other sea creatures, and allows space for underwater animals to breed, to nest, and to hide. This card encourages a peaceful environment where others around you may also flourish. It asks you to work with others to maintain peace and to cooperate. The sea turtle is also under threat of pollution and climate change. Turtles are also connected to the earth with mythical stories of creation in indigenous cultures. And so seeing them may be about how you might want to express conservation, responsibility, or cooperation with the natural world. The first card at the bottom of the deck is Death. It may feel like you may be perceiving that a part of you is dying at this time. And it may be connected to your ability to express yourself, your ability to communicate. There may be a lot of emotion that feels like it's trapped in your throat. A lot of it may be anger. And it may be anger around the times when you've attempted to connect with others and build harmonious friendships with them, and you have been hindered in that pursuit because of you and another person having different definitions of intimacy, having different capacities for intimacy, showing up to it in different ways. Yeah, there's something for you to say. I'm really feeling that. There's an energy of like, I just want to go for it. I want to go fast. I want to say this thing. I want to do this thing. And I want to move on from everything that doesn't support peace. I'm thinking about how throughout history we've seen people pursue peace in different ways. Some people, they go and they live on their own, or they live in a spiritual community. They become a monk or a nun. They devote their life to the practice of their spirituality. Or they go live in nature, away from most of civilization. They move to another country where people move different and think different. They move away from their families. They move away from certain institutions. They move away from certain systems of belief, certain political organizations, certain religious organizations. They move away. That's one way to get peace. Another way to get peace is to protest, right? There have been so many protests of people being, whether silent or loud, or just showing up to express that multiple people are impacted by whatever is happening systemically. They fight for peace. They show up for peace. Some people, they write things. They teach courses. They organize communities. Some people, they go to nature, they meditate. So they just choose to show up in their relationships with a peaceful energy. There are so many different ways to pursue peace, to make space for peace, and none of these ways is considered wrong. It's just a matter of what will resonate most for you. The Magician has shown up in, I think this is the third reading today. So if you are drawn to pile number 3 or pile number 2, your Magician energy is there as well. So there may be another layer of a message that you might want to piece together by listening to those messages as well, if you feel drawn. I'm really intrigued by the Magician clarifying the Death card here. Because when things end, or when things die in our lives or within us, sometimes we're more focused on what's ending than we are on what's beginning. So there may be an ending in your life, a pretty significant one, and it may be the beginning of more peace for you. There may be a shift in how attached you've been to accountability and apologies from others before you pursue peace. You know, sometimes when people do us wrong, when something wrong happens, when something is unjust, when we experience catastrophe, tragedy, deep disappointment, people just don't show up, or our expectations are fully just dashed. Sometimes we hold on to, well, they need to apologize to me before I can move on or move forward, or they need to show some accountability. They need to do this, they need to do that. And we typically say that, at least I've said that in my life, when I'm in a place of really fearing that this part of me that is so hopeful and that can be so innocent and caring and loving in the world, that part of me will die, or I'll lose access to that part of me if I don't get accountability, or if I don't get an apology, because that part of me is so pure and so innocent, and that's the only way that I've known in the past to tend to that innocence. For someone else that I love, that I care about, to show up in a way that will support that young, innocent part of me to continue on. To be like, okay, look, see? It wasn't only horrible. This person had a redeeming quality, and their redeeming quality also aligned with what I needed. It was later than I needed it, but it still came when I needed it. And you know, life has taught me that sometimes we don't get the accountability that I think we might deserve from that person. We might not get the apologies. We might not get the acknowledgement even from that person or from those people. But that sweet, innocent, beautiful, caring, loving part of you and of me still exists. And there are ways to pour into this part that doesn't have to do with another person, even if they've done us dirty. We have another page. We have the Page of Wands. There's something new to create. There's something new to create in this peacefulness. And now we have a progression. We have the 1 to the 2. You might not be sure just yet what it is, or it might feel like you have a few options. But you know, it's still Mercury retrograde. Conserve your energy, conserve your doing energy. Let yourself feel, let yourself listen, allow yourself to slow down. Meditate on things, be curious about what comes up for you. Write stuff down. Write stuff down, write your ideas down, write your thoughts down, journal. There's something that this piece is creating in your life, creating within you, soothing. It's soothing within you. It's healing within you. Peace is so powerful, and it is so priceless and underrated. It might not seem like something is produced externally to you, but the level of peace that you may have in your heart through this process of you processing and sitting with this part of you that is so wounded, but also so pure. It may produce something new, something that a level of peace that goes beyond understanding of anything you've experienced before. I love that for you, pile number 4. If you were drawn to pile number 3 or pile number 2 or another pile in this reading, I'll see you very soon. And if not, I'll catch you in the future. Take your time. Ease into things. I'll see you very soon. Bye. Hey there, pile number 5. So you have chosen the Hunt card. This is a hawk. We also see the Sagittarius symbol here as well. This card represents the hunt and the pursuit of one's goals, forsaking all else. The hawk is a predatory creature known for keen eyesight and revered for swift, decisive aerial action. The Celts associated the bird with foresight and acuity. And there is this hunting technique of falconry that has existed for thousands of years and is still used today, but it was once referred to as hawking. This card symbolizes a chase or hunt with a fixation on a specific target. It's the pursuit of a goal or outcome with a streamlined, sniper-like focus. This card may communicate that you will soon find something that you once thought you lost. And it's a symbol of a successful hunt for something that has long eluded you or that you thought you could never achieve. So it sounds like, with this Pisces full moon, it's also a blue moon. And we have a blue moon anytime we have a full moon twice in 1 month. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's considered something special. So there may be something in your life that you're like, I've always wanted this thing. I've been really disappointed with it, that it hasn't come. My inner child has been craving this thing for so long. I have started time and time again with new ideas. And the outcome that this energy, this Piscean energy is bringing in for you is for your inner child to be so joyous, for there to be something to celebrate, for it to feel like you have tamed an aspect of life, an aspect of you that felt so wild in nature. It felt impossible to walk in such strength. But here you are, head held high, lion at your side. You may be drawn to the courage pile, so you might want to check that one out. There's been so much strategy, so much apathy, so much grief in this process. And what this energy is saying is, this isn't the time to give up. This isn't the time to say, okay, well, you know what? I've tried this 50, 1,100 times and it's never produced what I've wanted it to. So that must mean it's never going to happen. There's something so sometimes I would say frustrating, depending on the energy I'm in. Sometimes I would say miraculous or beautiful, again, depending on where I'm at, when it comes to the universe and how we operate within it. When we've wanted something for so long and we've worked towards it, and we know what our goal is, we know what our intention is, we know what it is that we want, sometimes we get into a place of asking the question so many times over, will it come? Where is it? Why hasn't it come yet? What do I need to do different? I'm willing. we get to a place where our own voices sound whiny to us. That's a judgment. We get to a place where we continue to operate on the frequency of asking a question. And I was reminded recently that the vibration and the frequency of a question is different from the frequency of an answer. So if you were drawn to this pile, I would also encourage you to go back through each of these readings in these 5, because this feels like the culmination of a progression that was held within the readings. There was something that was said in the last pile, in pile number 4, around peace that might support you. There's something that was said around courage that might support you. Something that was said around inspiration that might support you. There's something in each of these. Something that was said around instinct that may also support you. It's a good idea to check in with yourself at the time of this full moon and to ask yourself, because there's also so much cups energy, there's so much emotion going on. We have 4, 5, and 6, so there's also a progression. Whenever we see a progression in numerology, it's a sign that you're on the right path. No matter how it feels, actually, you're on the right path. There's a lot of change that is happening currently around this thing that you want. There are ways that your angels and your guides have been working behind the scenes in ways that you can't even fathom on this thing, coming to you and coming through you at just the divine right time. But there's something that your energy, your hunt energy, your hunter energy, your huntress energy, your huntrix energy around your focus. Where you focus is where your energy goes. So if you focus on what isn't happening for you around this thing that you want, that's what you'll get more of that. You'll get more frustration. You'll get more grief. You'll get more apathy. You'll get more doubt, more frustration that you'll feel. If you focus on what it is that you want, just the beauty of it, the fact that you've known since you were a kid, if you focus on that your inner child has that wisdom, if you focus on the strength that you have cultivated over this time, over the process, everything that you've learned, you know that there is so much that you've learned in the pursuit of this thing that you've wanted, that you didn't even know you were going to pick up or learn along the way. Potentially people in your life that you have now that are collaborators, or that you couldn't even imagine your life without them. You connected with them in some regard through your focus on this thing that you want so much. It's probably adventures that you've been on, things that you've learned, courses that you've taken, ways that your consciousness has been expanded through the development, through your personal development, through your healing journey, just all in service of your pursuit and your focus on what it is that you want. So the universe tends to not only offer the things that we are focused on, but also the things that we relax about a little bit. And it's hard, right? It's hard to know what level of hawk and what level of turtle you may want to exude about this thing. If you can access the joy of your inner child around this thing, the creating just for creation's sake, the intention, the purity of the intention that you have, and as much as you can, just continue to return to that joy, return to that creativity, return to that intention, return to that gratitude. And that perseverance that you've developed. You may see and experience a level of justice, a level of just rightness in your world. I'm going to pause this reading here. It feels like there isn't much more that I can say to add to this energy. It feels like you're in the midst of something magnificent. And all I'm hearing is, this is not the time to give up. You can grieve, but you don't have to stop. Just pick it back up again when it feels possible for you to, you know? All right, so if you were drawn to another reading, if it resonated for you to go back through all of these other 4 readings and just hear the progression and see if there are more messages for you to pick up and to piece together for this, more encouragement also for you to piece together for this, then I will see you very soon. And if not, I'll catch you in the future. Take really good care and keep your head up. You got this.